What if I told you that certain Washington quarters could be worth tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars? You won't believe the insane value of these rare coins. Stick around to discover the top 3 ultra-rare Washington quarters and how much they could make you. Compass, Section 1, the Washington Quarter, a quick history lesson, 030 to 130. Before we zero in on 1956, let's rewind a bit. The Washington Quarter was first minted in 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It was designed by John Flanagan and quickly became a mainstay in American pockets. From 1932 to 1964, these quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, making them more valuable than today's clad counterparts just by melt value alone. But some years, like 1956, carry not just silver content, but something even more powerful, collector rarity. Puzzle piece, Section 2, 1956, Why This Year Matters, 130 to 230. 1956 was not a year of war or dramatic economic shifts, but in the world of numismatics, it's an important one. Over 44 million Washington quarters were minted that year across Philadelphia and Denver, seemingly a high number, right? So why is it rare? Because rarity isn't just about quantity. It's about quality, errors, varieties, and condition. The 1956 quarter has several hidden gems that collectors pay a premium for, sometimes a massive premium. Magnifying glass tilted left, Section 3, the key varieties and mint marks, 2:30 to 4 o'clock. The 1956 Washington quarter was struck at 2 mints. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Denver Mint, D mint mark. Here's what you need to look for. Small blue diamond 1. 1956 proof quarters, Philadelphia only. Over 669,000 proof coins were struck in Philadelphia. Proof coins are specially made with extra care and polished dies. Some of these proofs have stunning deep cameo contrast, brilliant mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. Money bag top value, deep cameo proof 1956 quarters in PR 69 condition have sold for $18,400. Small blue diamond 2. 1956 D regular strike, but with MS 67 plus quality. Most regular strike coins entered circulation, and finding high-grade examples is extremely rare. In mint state 67 or higher, these coins are few and far between. Money bag top value. A 1956 D Washington quarter in MS 67 plus was auctioned for $8,812 in 2019. Small blue diamond 3. Error varieties, the real jackpot. Now here's where it gets exciting. The real money is in errors and varieties. These include double die obverse, DDO look for doubling in the word liberty or the date. Repunched mint marks, RPM slight overlapping, DS on Denver coins. Off-center strikes or broad-struck coins. Money bag top value, a rare double die or error quarter can fetch over $10,000 depending on the severity and grade. Gemstone, Section 4, grading and what increases the value, 4 to 6 o'clock. So what really drives these insane prices? White medium star 1. Condition, grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. The closer to 70, the better. Uncirculated coins, MS 65, MS 67, or Proof 69, PR 69, are worth exponentially more. Even a slight scratch or dullness can lower the grade, and the value, significantly. White medium star 2. Strike quality. A sharp strike, especially on proof coins with deep cameo, dramatically increases value. 3. Rarity of the variety. Collectors go crazy over rare varieties. The fewer known examples, the more valuable it becomes. If you have a coin that combines rarity, high grade, and proof-like qualities, you might be looking at a life-changing payday. Trophy, Section 5, record-breaking sales, 6 to 7 o'clock. Here are some auction records to make your jaw drop. A 1956 PR69 Deep Cameo quarter sold for $18,400 at Heritage Auctions. A 1956 DMS 67 Plus with exceptional luster sold for $8,812. A rare DDO 1956 quarter has gone for over $10,000 depending on condition. These aren't just coins, they're investments, time capsules, and in some cases, treasures hidden in plain sight. Brain, Section 6, How to Spot a Rare 1956 Quarter, 7 to 8:30. Now that your heart's pounding, here's how to check if you have one of these beauties. Flip the coin and look for a mint mark on the back under the eagle, D for Denver. Check the obverse for signs of doubling, especially in Liberty and the date. Use a 10x jeweler's loupe to examine the mint mark for signs of repunching. Look for mirror-like surfaces and frosted details, signs of a proof. Compare to high-resolution images from PCGS or NGC certified coins. Weigh your coin, it should be 6.25 grams. Too heavy or too light might indicate a rare planchet or striking error. Section 1, The Washington Quarter, a classic American icon, 045 to 145. Let's start with some quick context. The Washington Quarter debuted in 1932, celebrating George Washington's 200th birthday. It became a permanent fixture in U.S. currency, with the iconic John Flanagan design lasting for decades. From 1932 to 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver. But in 1965, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver prices. So by 1969, the Washington Quarter was fully clad, no more silver, and hundreds of millions were struck. But within that mountain of coins, a tiny number of high-grade gems and bizarre minting errors have made 1969 quarters worth far more than face value. Man Detective, Section 2, The Rarity of the 1969 Quarter, 145 to 315. At first glance, 1969 quarters seem common. And they are. Over 176 million were struck that year between two mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. So how can any 1969 quarter be worth a fortune? Because rarity isn't always about low mintage. It's about minting mistakes, aka errors. High grades, unbelievable condition. Unusual varieties. Collector demand. And yes, some of these 1969 quarters are so rare, they've sold for tens of thousands of dollars at major auctions. Collision, Section 3, the 1969 double die obverse, the jackpot coin, 3:15 to 5 o'clock. Here's the one that gets collectors shaking with excitement. Fire 1969 double die obverse, DDO, Washington Quarter. This is one of the most famous and valuable error quarters ever discovered. In this variety, the front of the coin, the obverse, shows strong doubling on the word Liberty. The motto, In God We Trust. And even the date, 1969. This kind of doubling occurs when the die used to strike the coin was accidentally impressed twice, slightly misaligned, during production. Brain, these aren't minor errors. This is bold, dramatic doubling you can see without a magnifying glass. Moneybag top value. A 1969 DDO quarter sold at auction for over $35,000, and others have been certified at $20,000 to $50,000, depending on condition. Right arrow, only a handful of these are known to exist. Gemstone, Section 4, condition is key, the power of a high grade, 5 to 630. Whether or not you have an error, one thing is certain, condition can skyrocket the value of any coin, including a 1969 quarter. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS, mint state, grades used for uncirculated coins. MS 65 and above considered gem condition. MS 67 plus and higher considered elite, museum quality specimens. Moneybag auction record, a standard 1969 D Washington quarter graded MS-68 sold for $3,819. That's right, a regular coin with no errors, just flawless preservation. So if you've got a pristine 1969 quarter, untouched, shiny, and nearly perfect, it could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars even without an error. Section 5, Error Varieties and Valuable Mistakes, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Beyond the famous DDO, there are other valuable mint errors to look out for. Hammer and wrench common 1969 quarter errors. Off-center strikes, part of the design is missing. Clipped planchets, a piece of the coin is chopped off. Broad struck errors, no defined rim. Struck on the wrong planchet, like a penny or dime. Double strikes or die caps. Moneybag a 1969 quarter with a major off-center double strike can be worth $5,000 or more. A coin struck on a wrong planchet could sell for $10,000 plus. Each error is unique, and their value depends on severity, rarity, and grade. Chart increasing, Section 6, Real Sales, these quarters brought big money, 8 to 9 o'clock. Here are verified auction results that show just how valuable these 1969 quarters can be. Fire 1969 D double die quarter, sold for $35,250. Gemstone 1969 DMS 68 quarter, no error, sold for $3,819. High voltage 1969 quarter struck on nickel planchet, sold for $10,500. Firecracker off-center, double-struck 1969 quarter, sold for $7,800. These aren't just collectors' dreams, these are real sales, and they could happen to anyone who checks their change carefully. Face with monocle, Section 7, How to check your 1969 quarter, 9 to 10 o'clock. You might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1969 quarter is worth big bucks? Here's your step-by-step guide. Look at the date, make sure it says 1969, and check for a D mint mark under the eagle on the back. Check for doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Use a magnifier or jeweler's loupe. Weigh the coin, it should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it might be a wrong planchet error. Inspect for condition, no scratches. Shiny surfaces. You may have a high-grade gem. Look for edge errors or off-center designs. Submit it for grading, use PCGS or NGC if you think it could be valuable. Professional certification boosts the value. Section 1, Origins, the Washington Quarter Story, 040 to 140. The Washington Quarter was introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. It replaced the Standing Liberty Quarter and was designed by John Flanagan. For decades, it featured a consistent design, Washington on the obverse, and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. But in 1979, something happened. That year marked a turning point in U.S. coinage. The government was experimenting with new technologies, shifting production practices, and even redesigning coin portraits, which created unexpected minting anomalies. This is exactly why some 1979 quarters are now worth a fortune. Magnifying glass tilted left, Section 2, What makes the 1979 quarter special? 1:40 to 3 o'clock. At first glance, 1979 quarters don't seem unusual. Over 1.1 billion of them were struck across 3 mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark, proofs only. But here's where it gets juicy. Small blue diamond mint errors. Several major mint errors were produced in 1979, including off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, struck on the wrong planchet, such as pennies or nickels. Some of these are 1 in a million minting accidents, and collectors pay big for them. Money bag top value, a 1979 quarter struck on a nickel planchet sold for $10,000 plus, and some major off-center double-struck examples have sold for over $15,000. Gemstone, Section 3, Proof Coins and the Cameo Craze, 3 to 430. Now let's talk about San Francisco proof quarters, specifically the 1979 S. San Francisco only produced proof coins in 1979, made with highly polished dies for collectors. But there's a twist. There are two distinct types of 1979 S quarters. White medium star type 1, filled S, mint mark. The S looks blurry or blob-like, the die was overused. White medium star type 2, clear S, mint mark. The S is sharp, clean, and well-defined. This is the rare one. Money bag value range. A 1979 S-Type 2 quarter in PR 70 deep cameo has sold for up to $3,876 at auction. Collectors are obsessed with finding the clear S-Type 2, it's one of the most sought-after modern proof varieties. Brain, Section 4, Grading, Why Condition Matters, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. What truly separates a pocket change quarter from a five-figure payday? Right arrow grading. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70. MS, mint state, for uncirculated coins. PR, proof, for special collector coins. The Holy Grail. Coins graded MS 67, MS 68, or PR 70 deep cameo, near perfection. Light bulb. Most 1979 quarters are in circulated condition, but uncirculated gems, especially with rare mint errors, can sell for $1,000 to $35,000 or more. Section 5, Real Auction Sales. These coins got paid, 6 to 7:30. Let's break down some actual prices paid for rare 1979 quarters. Small blue diamond 1979 S-Type 2 proof PR 70 DCAM, sold for $3,876. Small blue diamond 1979 DMS 68 Washington quarter, sold for $6,462. Small blue diamond 1979 quarter struck on nickel planchet, sold for $10,200. Small blue diamond double struck off-center 1979 quarter, sold for $15,000 plus. Small blue diamond major die clash error, over $7,000 at auction. The takeaway? You could be holding one of these right now. Magnifying glass tilted right, Section 6, How to Identify a Valuable 1979 Quarter, 7:30 to 9 o'clock. So how do you know if your 1979 quarter is worth big bucks? Follow these steps. 1. Check the mint mark. Look below the eagle's tail feathers on the reverse. No mark equals Philadelphia. D equals Denver. S equals San Francisco, proof only. 2. Look for errors. Is it off-center? Is the lettering or date doubled? Is it struck unusually, fat edges, partial design, etc.? Does it look smaller or lighter? Wrong planchet. 3. Check condition. Does it look brand new? No scratches. Compare with certified high-grade photos from PCGS or NGC. Weigh the coin. A normal quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. 4. Use a loupe or microscope. A simple 10x loupe can reveal a double die or clear mint mark that could skyrocket your coin's value. Checkered flag, Section 7, Final Thoughts. Don't underestimate the 1979 quarter, 9 to 10 o'clock. Speaking head, so there you have it, the 1979 Washington quarter isn't just pocket change. It's a hidden gem, a collector's favorite, and in some rare cases, a five-figure jackpot just waiting to be discovered. Whether it's a proof with a rare Type 2 mint mark, a dramatic mint error, or a pristine high-grade strike, your 1979 quarter might be worth far more than 25 cents. Don't spend it before you know what you've got. Check your change, grab a magnifier, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky collector to strike gold with silver-colored coin.